Howdy, howdy, it's your old pal, Tiki the Hut. How you guys doing? It's another Too Late Tonight with Tiki the Hut, and we're going to be doing some modeling and some painting. So as you guys can see, I got the cultists lined up. I'm actually working on the Panther X. I'm actually taping, doing a little bit of tape, stuff like that, getting that whole thing ready, get everything set up for that. So I can start spray painting the stencil, and I'll show you guys how it looks step by step. Alright, so the first hit of the stenciling did not turn out well. So I repainted it, and I'm going to let it dry, and then I'm going to try stenciling by hand. That was interesting. Tried to use a spray primer. Spoiler alert, not the best idea. Alright. Well, while that's drying, let's work on some more cultist. The sooner we can get this army knocked out, the sooner we can start running some more interesting demo games. I can start taking pictures, doing battle reports, things like that. So we started off the stream working on the tank. Got a little too overzealous. Tried to spray paint the hieroglyphics on with a stencil. Not the best idea. I've had decent ideas before. That was 100% not one of them. Lessons learned. So now I'm just painting these cultists, waiting for my tank to dry. Because I painted over my air, which is the best part about painting models. Alright, tank's almost dry, and we'll do stencil attempt to round 2 here in a minute. Alright, we're learning things. We're learning things. Alright. Alright, so a little bit off camera just because it's a little bit easier to work with. I know it's not as fun to watch, I apologize. Bad sportsmanship or showmanship on my part, but I am working on a stencil right now. Let's see how this turns out. Now I'm realizing it would have been a lot easier to stencil the tank before I put all the stuff on it. You know, but again, lessons learned. Lessons learned. Not liking the way that turned out. Yeah, dude, it's still ain't easy. Alright. Round 2, let's try this again. Now we're gonna try stenciling with a brush. I know, it sounds weird, but let's try it. You can see this attempted heresy we're about to do. You'll forgive me, it's a little hard to bounce that all on camera, and I'm trying to get an effect on the tank, so I'm going to go ahead and prioritize the effect on the tank, and you may or may not see me stencil it on camera. I apologize for that, but I'll show you after I do each attempt. See if that makes up for it at all. Alright, so this is definitely not getting the desired result, but kind of fun to experiment. You know, we're learning together. I think this attempt will probably be the best. Let's see if I can get it just right. Not the best. We are kind of going for hieroglyphics, so it kind of works. I feel like it's just gonna be better to freehand this, honestly, ironically enough. Alright, so that was the first attempt. Not very good. I think I'm actually, ironically, just gonna end up freehanding it. But let me move on to painting the cultist. That was a fun attempt. I want to see kind of how that worked. Did not work out the way I planned, but that's alright. It's alright. Lessons learned and all that fun stuff. Let's get back to trying to knock out these cultists. I think it's going to be a lot of work to get that stencil to work correctly. But I got nothing but time. So I might end up literally having to freehand some hieroglyphics on there. Hey, what's going on, buddy? Tried doing some stenciling on my tank. Didn't turn out the way I wanted. It might end up literally being easier to just freehand some hieroglyphics on there. Some like simple Eye of Ra and some Feathers of Thoth and stuff like that. So now I'm back to just painting cultist. Trying to finish up this group of 10. What are you up to, buddy? Life goals. Not bad. Getting that pre-stream chow in, you know? You don't get hungry on stream. I get it. Yeah, I was kind of sad. I thought I was being all clever with these cool little like stencils I had for hieroglyphics. We had to figure out a way to get them to work right on the tank. I tried sponging with like a sponge. I tried spray primer. I tried using a brush. I think I just need to refine my tactics and or just freehand it. So. I think I may go with Mad Larkin's suggestion and just cut out a stencil. Is generally pretty legit. I always think I know better. Spoiler alert, I don't. Here's a few more of these guys to knock out. We'll get all their red in for their basic color of their robes. Then we'll go back in. Probably hit up their rifle weapons with a wood color. Then go back in, hit their leather ammo pouches and bandoliers. And then hit the skin color. Still haven't figured out what I'm doing with the shoes though. A lot of them have either flip-flop or these like kind of moccasins. Might just make them leather color, but it's going to conflict with their skin color, so. Oh, the tank's off screen. It's drying. After my numerous failed attempts, I hit it with a nice spray paint of spray primers and Dari dust, cover up my failures. So it's drying off screen a little bit. That was what the beginning of the shift was. So far, it's just the tank accessories that are painted, nothing special on it. I wanted to leave it blank, so that way, when I messed up with the hieroglyphics, it wouldn't undo too much of my work if I had to just go back to a blank canvas. Luckily, these cultist uniforms are pretty easy. I went with black pants, red robes, red turbans, or red feathers. Super simple. I think I am gonna have to rebase them all, because they're on like Warhammer 40k style bases instead of the flat bases for bolt action. So if that's kind of a pain, I don't know if I'm going to or not, only because it's like for a demo game, so I'm not really worried about like advantages and stuff like that. So. Rebasing sounds like a lot of work that I don't want to do. So here's the tank. She's currently drying. She definitely got some paint. Tried getting some stuff on the sides. Did not go well. So I'm now gonna go back over and kind of re-primer her, give her some love and attention. Tried doing it on stream while balancing. That was not a good idea. So I will definitely be working on that tank off camera. Million times easier. What? Oh, no, nothing that fancy. I removed the paint that I made the mistake with, because it was just, what is this stuff called? It's just, Abaddon Black, so it's super easy to remove, you know? And then I'm just gonna kind of wipe it all down and just re-prime the tank. It's, I'm not a gold demon kind of guy. That's why I said when I do these paint chats, it's not really to like show anything, because I make a lot of mistakes and I do a lot of things wrong. It's just to kind of chew through my my pile of gray. I'm more about the lore and the actual tabletop gaming. I've never really been a big painter. I view painting as the tax you have to pay to play the game, if that makes sense. I love kit bashing, but I view having to paint my models like the price I pay for when you kit bash all these models, you know? That's why I rarely solicit painting tips unless it's from someone I know and someone I really trust. Other than that, I'm like, I just paint for like 3 feet away. I just make sure they have the 3 colors, you know, and everything's painted base, and I'm pretty happy with that. And I've seen bolt action tanks, people generally just like spray paint them one color, or spray primer one color, paint the treads, paint the guns. We're like, okay, cool, my tank's done. I can see where you would say that, and I wouldn't say I necessarily agree, but I think it's just the hobby space. People approach different hobby things different. Some people don't like painting, some people just like playing. Some people like me, I love the rules. I think the rules are cool. yeah, I think the rules are cool. Like I said, that's what attracts it to a game. It's not just the models, but the mechanics of the game. You know, so everybody has. It's kind of like I view it where it's kind of like most people like all the aspects, but some people have more favorite aspects. You know, and the reason why I say painting is a tax, if you'll grant me, it's because I play horde armies. You know, I grew up playing guard in the 40k. You know, I have a old world army of about 120 models. You know, looking down at my IGA, they're up there. They're about 133 models. You know, all infantry mostly. So for me, like, you know, a lot of people who paint like Space Marines or they'll paint Custodians, they're like, oh, painting's a blast. It's like, yeah, when you're painting like 4 guys for an army. I was like, yeah, I get it, you know. But when your army minimally consists of like 80 infantry, you're like, all right, everyone gets a helmet, everyone gets some skin color, everyone gets a uniform. That's about it. Like you talk to Tyranid players, you know, like, you know, they'll tell you about their awesome painted like big models. They're like, tell me about all your termagants. They're like, oh, fuck those guys. You know, I just spray primered them and added a little bit of like dry brushing, you know. But again, everybody has their own interest. Some people absolutely love the painting part, which I understand. I don't shame that at all. Everyone has their own aspects that they like. Hey, Shells of Iron, man. How's it going? How's your stream? I'm working on some Egyptian cult Imhotep cultists. I was working on my tank earlier. I made a lot of mistakes. I tried doing some fancy stencil work, you know, of hieroglyphics. I tried sponging. I tried spray primering. Wasn't really working, so I just gave her a cleanup and a full new base coat, and she's drying right now. Yeah, I do have a little bit of a delay. It's just kind of a one-man show. It allows me to look at that. I haven't altered the, I guess, the standard delay that YouTube comes with. But yeah, hopefully don't mind. Like I said, I paint, I look up, and I answer the questions when I see them. Hopefully it doesn't really bug anybody. I just kind of take this as casual as I can. I don't really have a brand, but I guess if that's a brand, that would be it. Just trying to keep this as casual as possible. It was fun watching you do your Space Marines almost from start to finish. Shells of Iron, man, they look great. That's why I made that comment about your flamers, man. That look you did for your flamers is absolutely phenomenal, man. It's almost not really like a hot rod look, but that way you convey temperature, you know, with just paint, that's super, super awesome. Yeah, if you guys haven't seen Shells of Iron, man, check him out. His stuff is immaculate. It's super, super impressive. We're slowly converting him to the Gene Stealer cult. One day we'll get him 3 arms. We're just gonna find the right Gene Stealer to give him a kiss. He's being kind of shy about it, but we'll get him one day. But his stuff is phenomenal. Definitely go check it out. Yeah, you have some great people in your chat, like Silver and all them, man. They're phenomenal. It helps being open to it. I think that's the key. Like, I'm not gonna lie, me and myself, some people give me tips, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll try that. And I may try it, I may not. You know, we'll see what happens. But yeah, if you're open to that type of criticism, if you're looking to improve your painting game, you know, skill set wise, like model by model, oh yeah, there's so much good advice to find out there. Like, you'll see Mad Lark will pop in my chat. This dude's giving me so much advice. Sometimes I listen to him, sometimes I don't, and then I'll immediately regret it, and then I'll be like, I think like 3 months ago, he told me what white paint to get and to stop using GW white paint, and I finally got the paint he talked about, and I was like, oh my god, it's like a world of difference, you know? I need to put a disclaimer on my channel, like, when it comes to painting advice, like, don't listen to me or don't watch what I do. But I can speed paint. You know, I knocked out that, I think it finally ended up being about 38 or 43 brand new infantry built and painted in a week, for bolt action. That was absolute insanity. I could smell the Nolan oil in my sleep. That was insane. That was probably one of my biggest painting projects. So I can speed paint infantry like a champ. The quality, yeah. But speed, I got the speed. Yeah. What about you, next vid? Are you secretly a Gene Stealer cultist? Are you a fan of the GSC? So that's something that always amazed me about the 40k lore. You know, you have the Imperium of Man, yes, that's fine. The Emperor, all that funny stuff, cool. And they'll allow the tech priest in, like the cults of Mars. I know, because they want the STPs and access to all the stuff that they have. I get that, that's fine. But they allow in the cults of Mars, where they believe, you know, the Emperor's the Omnissiah and stuff like that. But they don't let in the poor Gene Stealer cult. I mean, these guys also believe in the Emperor. He just has 4 arms. I mean, they all worship the Emperor, so, you know, like, same, you know? Apparently the Inquisitor does not believe that logic. Oh, so that's even worse. If they let them get away with that, that's a whole other separate cult. At least the GSC believe in the Emperor. He just has 4 arms and is way cooler. Like I always say, imagine how the beat down with Horus would have gone if the Emperor could have like held him up with 2 hands and just speed bagged him with the other 2. So like I said, I'm super behind in my non-guard lore. Isn't the Omnissiah like some kind of weird like Necron dragon that's underneath? Yeah, there you go, like a void dragon. Yeah, okay, I'm not crazy. All right. Someone told me it's like some kind of weird void dragon. Hey, Mike, what's going on? We were just talking about that. You can like your big buff ladies, but everybody knows it's all about those goth GSC girls, you know? Right, but think about it. The goth GSC girls are bald, so they're not going to waste any time getting their hair ready for the date. They'll be ready in a snap. And they can also snap you in half with their 3 arms. How you doing, Mike? Appreciate you joining the stream, buddy. I'm just catching up on some filthy cult of Imhotep mummy cultists. Instead of zombies, these guys are rocking mummies, which are actually kind of cool. These guys are fun to paint. The tank is 100% in the shop, drying. I had to put a new coat of Zandari dust in that bad boy because I tried doing some hieroglyphics. It did not turn out well. It's one of those things you think will work really cool in your head, and you do it, and you're like, this cool idea far exceeds my skill. I need to reevaluate. Thanks. Yeah, like I appreciate that. I'm a simple guy. You know, more of a student of the slop chop method, not even the slap chop, just spray primer and apply speed paints and base paints as needed. You know, make sure everything's painted, has at least 3 colors, and base, and to the tabletop it goes. This is the story of this. This is the demo army I'm building, so I can do 500-point Conflict 47 demo matches. So instead of bringing actual, like, painted Germans into a local gaming store where children are playing Yu-Gi-Oh! You know, I figured that's not a good idea. You know, I figured some soccer moms will raise questions. So instead I kind of made them, you know, pulpish, cultist, you know, like Indiana Jones, mummy style. It's like the safe, edgy kind of thing, you know? Right? Yeah, this is actually my TTC vow. So, we mentioned Teep. It's for those of you who watch Morning Glory, he has a Troop in the Colors. It's a competition between all the different guard regiments. You know, we all join different guard regiments. I'm actually working for the Heretics and the Renegades because I ain't paying no taxes. But we make vows. You have to complete these vows that are worth certain points. And you can't quit a vow. I mean, you can quit, but you can't do another vow in the middle of another vow. So I was in the middle of these guys when I got hit up for that tournament where I had to build those like 43 guards, 43 Japanese riflemen and paint them in a week. I didn't get to count that as a vow because I was in the middle of these cultists. So that also kind of hurt. So I'm sitting there slaving away on those guys. I couldn't even count it for TTC. That definitely got me. I was pretty sad about that. hoping to get a demo game in by the end of the month. So I'm in a bit of a rush to get these guys painted. But on the plus side, whoever I'm teaching, they're going to absolutely smash me in the demo game. So, the demo game, the way I like to run mine, see if I can grab one of the models. So the way I run my demo games, I do small 500-point matches on decently sized tables, probably a 3x3, you know, so they have room to maneuver and things of that nature. It usually goes to at least 6 turns, and we can roll to see if it goes more. But the scenario I love to play is I finally have some good models for it too. Mike, they're not exactly big buff ladies, but they are nun ladies. So there's one. These are 3D printed. You can tell I still gotta go in and clean them up. So the way these are gonna work is the way I run my scenario is it's 500 points. And both sides are in a rush to capture a spy. Now the 3 nuns are going to be equidistant on the field. You know, one in the middle, one on the left, one on the right, by some buildings to make the terrain look realistic, right? So the point is they're each going to be marked on the bottom, you know, 1, 2, 3, or Alpha, Bravo, Charlie. And I'm going to go to the game owner, the game store owner, and let them pick a number or letter. Don't tell me, write it down, but don't show anybody else. And that's the spy. And so the way it works is both sides will actually move up. You can engage if you want to, that's fine, but your ultimate goal is to capture the spy and drag them off the board. There's actually rules for that in bolt action. But the trick is, you're given incomplete intel. All you know is the spy is posing as a nun. And there's 3 nuns, so you can either grab one, make it off the board, maybe try and grab 2. That's like insurance, because you never really know who's going to be the the spy and who's going to be a regular nun. So just grab 2 of them. Maybe grab one and shoot the other 2 and hope you have the right one. You can tell I play a lot of D&D. There's a lot of different ways that can play out. So that's how I like to do my Conflict 47 demo games. It allows you to see your models. It's more than just, kill and shoot the other guy off the board. It gives you kind of a fun objective to kind of fight for, So I'm pretty excited for that. And I probably will bring that for my my bolt action event, my Clash of the Caribbean. That mission probably will be the first 500-point mission, so that'll have like night fighting rules. It'll be like meet up with your spy. I don't know, it just has that like classic kind of like pulp movie feel, where it's like, oh yeah, meet the spy in the village. They're posing as a nun. And then you show up and you're like, shit, there's 3 nuns. So Mike, I bounce between Savage Worlds and D&D 5th edition. So for fantasy, which is usually for me, it's very swashbuckly. I lean more towards big, like nautical campaigns, like huge ones. One I have right now has been going on for a year. I do D&D 5th edition. And I mean like the 5th edition that came out in 2014, not that weird thing that just came out. For my pulp style games, I do Savage Worlds. Hey, thanks for popping by, Shells of Iron Man. I appreciate it. I know we're on completely separate time zones, so I appreciate you showing up, brother. Thanks, I totally will. And like I said, I'll be there for your streams, man. I appreciate you swinging by and supporting. Keep up the good work, man. Your models look amazing. You know, now that you mention it, Mike, I don't think I've ever seen the sisters' faces. I'm not quite sure what they look like. You know, I hear good things about Pathfinder 2nd Edition. What I will say about D&D 5th Edition is it has good bones. I think the best thing, it sounds such a cliche. I don't know how many people say it because I don't watch a lot of D&D YouTube. Not really a scene I enjoy that much. But so I'm not sure if it's said to ad nauseum on all the YouTube D&D channels. I've never seen an episode of Critical Role or anything like that, so I'm not the average D&D guy, I guess. But the best thing you do, it sounds so dumb, is just read the Dungeon Master's book. Like, the best thing is just read all three. Read the Player's Handbook, read the Dungeon Master guide, and then read the Monster Manual. You know, read that Holy Trinity, and then start a game. Hey, Matthew, what's going on, buddy? How you been? We're talking models, we're talking Sisters of Battle, and we're talking D&D. Like, I incorporated cannons because I do a maritime, you know, a naval campaign. So I incorporated cannons and I incorporated matchlock firearms pretty well, I think. Matchlock and wheellock firearms. And I didn't have to do a lot of stuff on my own. A lot of it was already in the Dungeon Master guys, just no one reads it. It's a shame. I say no one reads it. That's super hyperbolic of me, makes me sound like an asshole. I don't know who reads it, who doesn't. I didn't take a poll. But from my observation and the people I play with, it seems like not a lot of people read the DM guide. Yeah, like I said, I hear great things about Pathfinder. I think one thing I did like about Pathfinder, I love and this is Pathfinder 1st Edition. I'll never forget, it was a really cool gift my wife got me. Dungeons & Dragons 4th Edition and Pathfinder 1st Edition books, like at the same time, so I wasn't sure which one I wanted. So she surprised me on my birthday with both. Super cool wife. But I really like the gods in Pathfinder better. I think at least in Pathfinder 1st Edition, I think they approach clerics a lot better. Sorry to hear you're tired from work, man. I hope work's not treating you too bad, or they're at least paying you for the trouble that they're giving you. But yeah, feel free to listen in and chill, man. Take a breather, relax. You got some models, get them out paint if you're home. If not, if you're still at work, no worries. I just recently came back from my holiday, jumped right into work, and it was not fun. It felt like trying to jump into a moving van that was going 60 miles per hour. That was not enjoyable. Yeah, you're right, Mike. There were some long ass encounters, and being kind of cutting my teeth more in tabletop wargaming before I jumped over into D&D. My group gives me shit for it all the time because all my encounters are they're like, oh yeah, it's always like we're fighting some kind of tactical genius. Not that I'm a tactical genius, but they're saying the monsters. I make my monsters fight smart, so every engagement's like a tactical engagement. It's not just okay, Final Fantasy, everyone line up, take turns, and deal your damage and heal, or no, it's hey, elevation matters. The enemy takes cover. They'll create cover, they'll destroy cover, they'll try and flank you. it plays less like World of Warcraft and more like old school Brothers in Arms, if that makes sense. Ooh, that does sound rough. It can be hard to fit the gym in. If I'm not able to get a good swim in before work, I try and ruck at night after work myself. But dude, training new personnel. Oh man, you're talking to the wrong guy. I for a long time that was my shop. When I left operations, I went into training for a while. So I'm a huge training guy. I love my field training exercises. You know, tabletops or field training, doesn't matter. I absolutely love it. I love training new people. I'd have them writing alpha. You know, running them through the required knowledge and hitting them with like what if situations all night. You know, that's why I like working midnight shift myself. There's always more time to train. Yes, they are. Absolutely love it. That's the best thing about mid-shift. There's always time for an FTX. I mean, there was always time for practical training, and then when it came time for the FTX, you know, it was a whole lot easier because we spent a lot of our shifts actually doing practical training. I feel like days got more real-world experience, but also a lot of nuisance calls, and mids always got the fun stuff like, you know, domestics and things like that, and we got a lot more time to do like the more high-speed practical training, you know, high-risk traffic stops and stuff like that. So there's a pro and con to day shift and mids. I was always a mids guy. I liked avoiding leadership personally. Ugh. Just saying FTX, man, I can taste the water buffalo. I wonder how many years of my life that rust took off. Every time I play Fallout, I think it tastes and smells like a water buffalo. Ooh, okay. Yeah, I'll give you that, Matthew. Yeah, that hurts. That hurts when they just take it and walk away. Oh. Yeah, that hurts. What? Okay, so I feel bad, I do, but I also feel bad for the next trainee. You know, when like the trainee before them, you pour your heart and soul into it. You teach them all the stuff that you wish you knew when you went through, and then they just up and quit. And then like the next trainee shows up and they're all excited, like, "Hey, will you teach me?" You're like, "Shut up! I don't even want to know your name." Yeah, that water did hit different. I always felt like that water was heavy. Like it went straight through your stomach, like straight to your bowels, which is like heavy water. but it was also like the most refreshing too. It was almost like drinking out of the water hose as a kid on a hot day. You know, no bottle of water will touch it. Oh, nice, nice. Glad to hear you're nice to the new guy. Yeah, I feel you, Matthew. I do, but I was a huge training nut. You know, I was always that guy doing what if scenarios all day long to pass the time. So I get what you're saying, but definitely missed that part. It was always fun. What I don't miss about training though is the damn records. Training records, extremely important. And I concur, they're important, but oh my god, if I could just have a fraction of the time that training records took from my life, I feel like I'd be 5 years younger. Training records. God, just the name alone. You know, I never actually saw them dump the purification tablet, but I can just imagine it's just like thunk, thunk. Hoping to get this army painted up here pretty quick, not only to complete my TTC val, but to get them on the table and get some more demo games going. Get some pictures of that. So the scenario, like I showed you with those nuns, you know, it's 3 nuns, one of them's a spy. You have to grab it and bring it back. So my army is just going to be a very standard Japanese army, nothing crazy. I think like, you know, a couple rifle squads. Couple of rifle squads, maybe some zombies, nothing too crazy. But for the German, for this army, they have 1 rifle squad complete with a medium machine gun and a light machine gun and a Panzerfaust. They'll have a 2nd lieutenant and adjutant with assault rifles. They're gonna have 6 zombies, and then they're gonna have a Panther X. So I have nothing that can even crack that, so it should be kind of interesting to see. Oh, SpongeBob music. Yeah, it's just relaxing, like ukulele, you know, Hawaiian style music, but yeah, it's very much so SpongeBob music. I notice everyone, and there's nothing wrong with it, but everyone does like that, that lo-fi synth techno. Like, I like White Bat's audio, he does amazing stuff, but I try to just go for more like a laid-back kind of feeling, you know? Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, if you're talking about that song I made with the AI program, I actually have another one coming up, which is pretty good. It's about them going into the eye a little bit further, and they run into some like zombie hula girls. It's a pretty funny song. I'm working on like refining it and stuff like that. I'll probably post it out here soon. But thanks. If that's the outro music you're talking about, the little song about the them being beach wrecked on the sands. And also on the plus side, So I took that vacation, and it was to do site survey and reconnaissance for where I want to hold my bolt action tournament, the Clash of the Caribbean. So that'll probably be in September or October of 2025. It's going to be on a cruise ship that sails out of Florida and sails to the Bahamas. It's a 2-day cruise. I have a video breaking down the price, you know, what it costs if you want a room by yourself, what it costs if you split a room with 2 people, and it covers every cost, including taxes, port fees, fuel fees, gratuity. It covers all that kind of stuff. That way there's no surprises. So you can see if it's worth it or not. And that's how I'll do my event, because it'll be a 2-day cruise. It'll be 1 day of bolt action. It'll be about 3 games, and there will be prizes. You know, it'll be best painted and, you know, first place and most sportsmen and stuff like that. So pretty excited about that. And there's no additional cost for it. There's no ticket. Your ticket is booking a cabin on the vessel, on the cruise ship. So I'm paying to like rent the space and all the additional charges out of pocket. And so like I said, this channel's not for profit, but I decided to kind of up my timeline a little bit, and I will be putting out merch. I will be putting out t-shirts. Kind of long-winded to get to that point. But yeah, I'll be putting out some funny Tiki the Hut t-shirts, and I'll put those on my channel. And all of that, all the proceeds from that go directly to funding the Clash of the Caribbean. You know, and like I said, I'm going to have receipts so you guys can see where every purchase goes. You know, this is never for profit. I'm very transparent about that. But the more people buy, just the better prizes and the better like food and stuff like that we can have at the event. But yeah, keep your eyes peeled. On some of the videos, there'll start being some link in the descriptions to getting some Tiki the Hut merch. You know, even though I'm under 500 subscribers, I was gonna wait till I hit 500. But with that cruise coming up in a year, I want to get the information out to people so they can plan for it, and then I can also start doing that as well. And it's not even really to draw in any kind of money to pay for the event. It's more just how cool it would be to see someone wearing like merch from your channel. I think it's kind of humorous. Like I wear Morning Glory. I wear the bayonet, eat, sleep, bayonet, repeat shirt whenever I play bolt action. It always cracks me up. Nice. It's definitely, buddy. I'll let you know when they pop up. They should, you know, knowing me and my sarcasm, hopefully they'll be pretty funny. They'll at least be humorous. Again, I don't know where you work or anything like that, but as a veteran myself, one thing I plan on doing with my t-shirts is I do plan on having, I guess they're no longer sand tees, like whatever the surfaces are, like brown or tan or stuff like that. I'm going to make sure, you know, they're where they have like the icon far to the left so you can wear it under your uniform. Oh, alright, Mike. Take it easy, man. I appreciate you swinging by. Hopefully I don't make you late. Hopefully you get some sleep and you have a good day tomorrow. But, dude, thanks for catching the stream, brother. I appreciate that. It means a lot to it. It means a lot to me, actually. I appreciate that. But, yeah, I try and make the shirts cool. And, as far as the cruise, I brought Mrs. Tiki with me on the first one. And, she did well. Like I said, it's only a 2-day cruise, so it's not too bad. And yeah, it is a big ship, and it's very calm waters because it just runs from the east coast of Florida down to the Bahamas and back. So you're in open water, but you're inside of like the Florida Caribbean area. So you're not really like out in the North Atlantic in wintertime, you know. So it's not too bad. But I did a price comparison to like other conventions as far as like getting a hotel and getting food. Take it easy, Mike. The cruise is actually about even with holding it at like a hotel hall, you know, with people having to get hotel rooms and leave to go get food at like Chili's or whatever. So I figured a cruise would be kind of a fun way to do it. You know, it's a super laid back vessel. It's an easy run. It allows us to play tabletop wargaming in international waters while underway, and that'll be a first. And it kind of makes it very unique, you know. That way you can go to all your other tournaments, and then hopefully, my ultimate goal is like maybe somebody somewhere will talk about it, be like, "Hey, are you going to Clash of the Caribbean this year?" You know, that'd be super cool. I don't think it'll ever be as big as like we have Huracan down here in Florida. That's a huge bolt action event put on by some guys I know. They do a great job. You know, I don't ever think this will be like one of the big events, but if someone ever just mentions it once, you know, that'll be enough for me. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, man, I'm glad you listen while you patrol, man. Hopefully it makes your ship go by a little bit better. Oh yeah, so it's funny. Before I ever went into the military, I was actually a merchant mariner, so I sailed on merchant vessels, all different types, tankers, container ships, all sorts of stuff, riverboats, you know. But so I'm a huge maritime nerd, as well as a military nerd too. So I said I could just sit here and talk for like 4 or 5 hours just about the ship itself. You know, it's talking about like where it was made, the design, the style. I'm a huge nerd for that kind of stuff. So that's one of the reasons why I picked that particular ship and that particular cruise, is it's a good older ship. She's built not like modern cruise ships where they put like hotels or resorts on a hull, you know, be like, yeah, let's put a hotel on a ship and call it a cruise ship. This is built kind of in the old style, like it's built like a liner and how they should be. So it's a ship first, and like I wouldn't say it's a cruise ship, it's more like a luxury fast ferry, because it's only like 2 days. So when you look at it, it's not what you think. Like a good example is it looks very old on the inside. When I mean that, I mean not like stuff's falling apart, but a good example is there's not a lot of like big giant screens. There's not a lot of water slides, but there's a lot of places to sit. I think there's like 4 or 5 different pianos on board. You can't throw a rock in any direction without hitting a bar. I think there's like 3 bars on every deck. It's insane. So it's a very old traditional style ship. Yeah, and the way I have it set up is there's still time to make sure you get all the stuff you're paying for, all your meals. You can do a shore excursion or just randomly run ashore if you want on the second day and just run around the Bahamas and have a good time, hang out on the beach. You know, and like I said, we'll knock out our bolt action games on the first day. And from there, we're just kind of hanging out, having a good time together. People wonder if they want to go their own way, that's fine too. You know, that way you get a vacation and some bolt action at the same time. And people with spouses or girlfriends or boyfriends, kids, significant others, it also kind of knocks that out too, you know? Also, it's just me just being different. But, I know a lot of people, some people, I say a lot of people, I shouldn't say that. Some people are like myself, and I think it's traditional with a lot of Americans, maybe over some of our international brothers and sisters. Is we work a lot, we don't take enough vacations. You know, we very rarely have like mandated holidays. Like by holiday, I don't mean federal holidays, I mean like take a holiday, take a vacation. So it's also my goal is to maybe try and get some people. You know, it's kind of like helping with mental health too, kind of get people to take a vacation at the same time they take a bolt action event. You know, that way I know it sounds so dumb, but it's one thing that kills me. You know how you have PTO, right? Like, well, am I gonna burn it on, you know, a day off to go play a tournament, and they're gonna come back and work? Am I gonna burn it to have some vacation, or am I gonna save it for a sick day? This way, when you burn your PTO for this event, you're getting both a bolt action, you know, event, and you're also getting a vacation. So you're kind of getting both sides. You're getting the most use out of your PTO, if that makes sense. At least that's how my weird workaholic brain looks at it. Yeah, I'm super sad my tank stenciling didn't work out very well earlier in the stream. I tried sponging and spray primering some stencils on a tank. I have some hieroglyphics on a stencil. It did not work out the way I wanted. So I had to like reprime that bad boy. And now it's just sitting over there, neglected. Probably try again tomorrow. No stream, but just like on my own. Yeah, well, it's one of those classic things. I don't know if other people run into this, where like I have cooler ideas than I can support statistically, or not statistically, but with my skill set. Where it's like, hey, my cleverness, my creativity far exceeded my means of capability of painting, and I'm like, oh, it'd be so like a great example is when I wanted to do my 10 Chaos Space Marines. I wanted to do them as like EVA or in outer space. I was like, oh, I could do like a galaxy style base. I was like, I can't paint that. I was like, alright, they're getting something different. You know, I looked at it, it'd be so cool to put hieroglyphics on the tank, and I'm like, oh shit, can I even, like, skill set, can I even do that? Honestly, I think I'm just gonna end up, just freehanding the hieroglyphics on there. Think about just using like a gunpla marker, a gunpla black marker, and using the stencil. Oh god, I made that mistake. That's me with my my old world army. My merchant privateers is they're all mostly you know what? Yeah, you'll get it with no French Napoleonics. Yeah, same color scheme. My army's mostly blue and white, you know, because they're merchant sailors. And I was like, white is hard. I've just now kind of given up on GW white paint. I've listened to Mad Larkin and moved on to better white paints. Yeah, that was rough. Oh god, I will never do another mostly white themed army again as long as I live. I don't care if it's like a snow army. I don't give a shit. They're gonna be green. I will never do a full, mostly white themed army ever again. Lesson, especially old world. I was like, yeah, what could go wrong? 120 models, mostly white and blue. Jesus. Are your French Napoleonics, are they the that's not really 15 millimeter, but you know what I mean, like the epic scale, or are you doing like full 28 millimeter size? Oof, man. That sounds intense. Hey, have you heard I think it's Napoleonic, I'm not sure. It may or may not be, but have you heard of Silver Bayonet? And that whole like narrative thing or that whole setting? I think that's Napoleonic era. It's another alternate history kind of thing. I think it's more like kind of Cthulhu supernatural style. Nice. Okay, yeah, I thought I was Napoleonic, but I wasn't sure. It's one of those things where it's like, you might like this. I was like, oh yeah, maybe, but you know, I'm trying to like narrow. I was having this talk yesterday with Mad Larkin, trying to narrow my scope of miniature games. You know, I'm down right now to just Conflict 47, Bolt Action, with D&D 5th edition as my side chick, as it were. I've shelved my old world army until it gets more popular in my area. I'm actually in the process of selling off all my Fallout Wasteland Warfare models. I do have a Warhammer 40k kill team ready to go, you know, in case anyone ever contacts me to play. That happens very often. But, you know, I figured I'd always keep a little bit of Warhammer 40k on deck. If you don't mind me asking, what rule set are you using for a Napoleonic 28mm? Is it like an Osprey Blue Book, or is there a certain game set that you're using? Yeah, I always do love painting up some bolt action amongst other things. Yeah, I have a dream. Ooh, okay, Black Powder. Yeah, I do have a dream to get back into Battlefield Gothic. That was my OG tabletop war game way back as a high schooler. I became interested in 40k through reading a Gaunt's Ghost book, but I don't want to play 40k. I want to play Battlefield Gothic, and that was my first ever thing. I remember saving a while and getting that. I think it was like the first online purchase I ever made was getting a Battlefield Gothic starter set. Still one of, obviously I'm biased as shit, but still probably one of the best tabletop wargaming starter sets I've ever seen is the OG Battlefield Gothic. You legit got 2 fleets in a box, and not like here's a thing and a couple planes. No, 2 legit battle lines of cruisers to just wail at each other, and it was awesome. So I'd love to get back into Battlefield Gothic, and it's only like a couple 3D printed ships away, but trying to be good, trying to maintain my focus here on Bolt Action Conflict 47 and D&D. You ever seen that meme where that lady's in the pool with her 3 kids? She's giving attention to one kid jumping in, the other kid's treading water, and the other one's like drowned at the bottom. Yeah, so the one jumping is my beloved Conflict 47. Bolt Action's treading water pretty hard. And D&D is sunk to the bottom. I love my D&D group. I need to get back to them. It's been crazy at work. We're very low manned, so I work a lot of overtime. So it's very hard to be a DM and create all the stuff and run DM. I understand it's fun for them, and I have fun too, but it's also the strain is extremely severe for me. So once my job gets manning more stable and I'm working less overtime hours, then I'll probably get back into D&D. I miss my D&D group. It's a great group of guys and girls. They're absolutely solid. They've been with me for about a year now. Had a good campaign. And I hate when I get called in you know, and I have to like cancel D&D on them. They all get ready and stuff like that. And I'm like, hey, LOL, hashtag, sorry, I got called in, you know. Figure once we have better manning, I'll be able to actually be able to hold my dates better. Like, hey, D&D's on this day and we're good, you know, there's a very low chance I'll be called in. You can tell by my hand I'm kind of a messy painter, but alright, it's just paint washes off, not a big deal. I did a little confinement work back in the military. Don't miss that. Yeah, prisons are no fun. Lots of overtime. Like, you're not wrong. Lots of overtime. People are like, I don't mind working overtime. I'm like, there's a place for you. You may or may not like it, but you can definitely churn out some OT. That's for sure. We had civilian, or it's weird, like government civilians that could get overtime while the rest of us couldn't because we were active duty. So we just watch them grind overtime hours while we're just sitting there working the same hours. Like, that's nice. Tell me again about you and watch them like drive off in a Mustang. You're like, oh damn. Yeah, I think Games Workshop missed its big ship for narrative stuff. I think when Critical Role was at its like zenith, you know, I think they definitely should have like leaned more into like bringing back the old Warhammer RPGs and narrative stuff for both 40k and regular. But I think that's starting to be on its way out with that new D&D release. So. But by the same token, now that X-Wing is gone, I feel like there's a huge opening for Battlefleet Gothic. Yeah, that fake hatred till like in time for like the paycheck. You're like, oh no, yeah. I have a hard time in my current job turning down overtime. Definitely a bit of a workaholic. It's so sweet. But I do have a rule. It's depending on who I work with. and what I'm working. So it's so funny. Like normal overtime is like time and a half, right? So my rule is if I'm doing twice the work, then I'm not gonna volunteer for overtime. So that depends on like who I'm working with or like where I'm working, kind of thing, you know. So like if you're working with a good team, you're like, yeah, I'll do some more time for time and a half, no big deal. But if you're working with like a bad team, you know, you got to do like twice the amount of work to cover for other people. You're like, I'm doing twice the work for time and a half pay. That's just bad math. I've learned to value my time a little bit more instead of chasing all overtime. I'm now a little bit more choosy, which is kind of nice. Yes, that is a damn good description. It is fun but complicated. You're 100% correct. Um, it's just, oh God, just the feeling of watching those torpedoes and watching them slowly move across the board each turn, you know, with no guidance. Oh, guys, man, I really miss my Battlefield Gothic. Such a good game. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You can see the impending doom. And the other thing I loved about the torpedoes is they were dumbfire, so you could like launch them and totally forget about them and like move your like your swords and your fire frigates that are squad or your Cobra destroyers. You know, move them super further up and like later on in the turns, it's you move them every turn so you kind of remember, but you'll be doing like some clever stuff further up the board. And then those torpedoes are still in play. You have to make sure you don't get hit by your own torpedoes. I feel 3D printing will definitely bring it back. If people have it, if people want to play some space combat. Not a bad stream. Like I said, I messed up early on. Messed up early on with my poor tank, trying to do my stencils, but refocused that time to kind of chip it away at these cultists. Got most of their robes done on most of these guys. Still have the adjutant to do. But, ooh, Dark Eldar ships. I don't remember. I think they did. I don't know. I mostly just saw people just kind of use Eldar as those. Honestly, I think I only ever played, I was always Imperial. I played against Chaos once. Actually, no, I played against Chaos like 3 or 4 times. Played against Orcs a bunch of times. And I think I played against Space Marines once. I never played against Eldar. At least in the tabletop. The starter kit came with Imperial Navy and Chaos. So those are generally the ones you met. Models were hard to come by. Even back then, and this is like 07, you know, even then models were hard to come by. So I think I saw Orcs once, and they were super cool. The guy, it was so cool, he mostly just like hit bash using like styrofoam as like giant like rocks, you know? Built the ship around that, it was pretty cool. Yeah, another laid back stream. Thanks to everybody who joined. We kind of chitted and chatted away, talked a little bit. I learned a little bit, learned my painting limitations, which is always a healthy thing to have your painting ego checked a little bit. Like, you're not skilled enough for that cool idea. You know, back to the drawing boards, nerd. So I gotta think about how I'm gonna put hieroglyphics on that tank. But yeah, got more of these cultists done. Hoping to finish them this month, not just for the TTC Val, but so I can get some good Conflict 47 demo games in. Definitely stay tuned. Wednesday should be another lore video. So if you like lore videos, put one of those out, one of the longer ones. Those are always a lot of work, but they're a lot of fun. Some merch will be coming out, some Tiki the Hut merch, and all revenue generated from that goes straight towards the Clash of the Caribbean 2025 bolt action event. So it all goes straight towards that. But what I'm hoping is once this army's done, I'm gonna do a lot more small scale, not really even bat reps, but I noticed I'm covering a lot of lore for Conflict 47. And with a new version of bolt action coming out, the rules change between bolt action and Conflict 47 are going to be even bigger of a gap. So I need to start doing some like how to play Conflict 47, some very small, quick tutorials, like little 10-minute videos. Like, hey, here's how movement works. Hey, here's how shooting works. Here's how pins work. Here's how orders work. Here's how mortars work. Here's how flamers work. You know, real quick, short, fast videos that way you can kind of watch and be like, what's the difference between Bolt Action 3rd Edition, which is coming out soon, and Conflict 47 1st Edition? So, that's something that's definitely coming down the pipeline, and I think it's definitely going to be needed. I still love lore, but I feel like I kind of owe it to the Conflict 47 community, no matter how small it is, to do you know, how to play videos as well. But those of you who are watching, if you like the Conflict 47 shorts I put out, if you have a preferred unit you'd like to see, this is where you can request it here in the live stream chats. I figured it's the least I could do for you guys watching the stream. You know, if you guys have a particular Conflict 47 unit you want to see that I haven't covered yet, definitely let me know. Last person request one was Morning Glory. He got his. That was the Scorpion Walker. Did pretty well. A lot of people like that video. So if you have a particular unit you want to see, you know, you want to see me do a 1 minute cover on, you know, I talk a little bit about the history of the unit, what it is, and I talk about its rule sets. So if you have one of those units you want to see, you know, definitely comment now in the stream. Let me know. So next mid tabletop, what that is what Bolt Action Conflict 47 reminded me a lot of. My favorite arcade game growing up as a kid was Metal Slug. So all that is if you notice, you know, up at the top, you know, there's two different little Metal Slug sprites up there going on. Like this guy's trading fire over the barricade, and the guy Hayukin in the tank. So down there, that's just one of the Metal Gear Solid sprites. And I just superimposed my little Tiki the Hut image over him. I don't know where that came from. I just wanted to dress up my stream UI a little bit, you know. I figured some fun little Metal Gear Slug sprites would be kind of on topic for Bolt Action and Conflict 47, and I just had a little fun building that. Maybe I will build some lore around it. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. But always a fun stream. I said I always appreciate you guys swinging by. Did I say Metal Gear Solid? Oh no, I said Metal Gear Slug, didn't I? I'm so sorry. Metal Slug. I don't know why I added the gear. But yeah, it's just Metal Slug. I don't know why I added Metal Gear Slug. It's just Metal Slug. If you never played the old Metal Slug games, man, they robbed your quarters, but man, were they so fun. But yeah, it's a great stream. Like I said, I got more of these guys chipped away at. That's the majority of them. Now I just gotta do their black pants, their weapons, and stuff like that, and they'll be ready for the tabletop soon. Excited to do more demo games. Excited to put out more lore videos. Like I said, this channel, it's mostly just for like the Conflict 47 lore and soon to be how to plays. These streams they're not even my streams, they're kind of like our streams. What I mean by that is it's treated more like a almost like a Discord kind of. So just show up, you know, it'll be here for you. You can just chat away, ask questions, really kind of talk about anything within reason. That's kind of how I treat these streams. Instead of like kind of showing off techniques, because I don't really have any. It's kind of just BSing and hanging out. It's just a kind of fun place to kind of chit chat and hang out. But yeah, if you guys haven't, definitely check out Next Vid Tabletop. He does a really good job of painting both Space Marines, and if you're interested in Infinity, I played a little bit of Infinity way back in the day. He does a good job covering Infinity. He's answered a lot of my questions about it. With that being said, I'd love to see some terrain. If you ever get a chance to show that in some of your streams, man, I'd love to see some Infinity terrain. Also, Shells of Iron, he was in the chat earlier. That dude has more painting talent in his pinky than I have in my entire hand. Definitely go check him out. He's also funny as hell to listen to, too. He cracks me up. Can't recommend his channel enough. Yeah, you say that, man, but your Infinity model looks so damn cool. I think that I see a lot of Warhammer 40k models, so like, yours look good, but you know, I see a lot of Warhammer 40k. So when I saw your Infinity models, I thought they were awesome, and I just wanted to zone in on that. But alright guys, if you're having trouble sleeping, or if you're heading to bed, I hope you sleep well, I hope you get some relaxation in. If you're still at work, man, I hope you have a great day at work. You've definitely earned it. But ultimately, guys, I just want you guys, you know, and I look forward to seeing y'all next week. It'll be the same time. I'm back from my vacation, so I'll be here. It'll be the same time, so I do Saturdays and Sundays, 02 to 04, like some old school Toonami hours. But ultimately, I want you guys just to stay safe and stay hydrated. And ultimately, don't forget to relax today, because you're on Tiki time.
Smiles, no war drums, just beach for miles. Ghost park by Tiki lights, shadows dance in tropic nights. Sand beneath where boots once stood, paradise ain't so misunderstood. Lost in waves and hula tunes, tiki drinks and months of moons. Forgot the fight in distant lands, just surf and play with tired hands. Bunkers built from palm and hope, coconuts and crude soap. Imperial dreams fade in sun, warriors turn beach bums. Shine to ocean gods we raise, praying for forgotten days. Sake in the campfire glow, life's a surfboard ebb and flow. Lost in waves and hula tunes, tiki drinks and months of moons. Forgot the fight in distant lands, just surf and play with tired hands. And hula tunes, tiki drinks and months of moons. Forgot the fight in distant lands, just surf and play with tired